What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. I started digging into a care package that my friends from War Performance sent me, but I wanted to share it with you guys. And I don't make these videos to try to gloat and to go, oh, look at nanny boo boo, right? The reason I make these videos is so guys like you that need parts know where to get them and you know what they carry. Yes, they do have a search function, but sometimes you don't even know you need a part until you see it, right? Full disclosure, War Performance does sponsor me, but not everything I showcase is a freebie and a handout. They are a small company, veteran owned, and they honestly can't afford to just give me all the parts that I need to feed my racing addiction. So yes, they do help, but money is exchanged. I vote with my dollars, and majority of stuff, when I can, I order from them. Do I buy stuff from Amazon, Summit, everywhere else? Yeah, I sure do. But if I can get it through these guys, you got to support the people that support you. So for anybody complaining, saying these are some sponsored thing and I'm shilling stuff to people, hey, this isn't your video. But for those of you that have stuck around, let me share some of the stuff that I got from them, and it might give you a better idea of some of the things that they do carry. So first and foremost, we will start with this. This is what made me think of this. I pull it out of the box, and I'm like, man, somebody could use that. So I'm pretty much making this whole video for this, but it's gonna save somebody some cash. These are I/O pins. If you've ever tried to add I/O or repin something or make a new wire for your Holley, they sell these things by like the rack. Maybe they sell them a la carte at this point, I don't know. But I remember when I wanted to pin something, I was like, man, I just need like one or two. I don't need a whole rack for $1 million. Well, here you go. They have these smaller racks. It's gonna be cheaper, and then you're not left over with a bunch of pins you don't really need. So first person in the comment section that actually needs a set of pins, let me know and I will ship them to you, and then I'm going to put underneath it when these are gone and who they went to. So if you need some I/O pins, leave a comment and I will send these out to you. So next I want to share this with you. This is what got this whole care package started for the most part. This is a power lead, right, for your computer. So you're like, why do you need that? Well, I shortened mine because I thought I was cool, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of this rat's nest. Me and my buddy Turbo Joe were like, we'll just take it to the lug on the backside of the firewall. Well, it turns out you need to run this home run power and ground to your battery. And the reason I know that mine's not correct and it needs to be rewired properly is I have a 7-inch dash that's powered by CAN power, and when I crank, the dash shuts off and then restarts. It may not seem like a giant issue, like, oh, who cares? Well, it's not correct for one, and then for two, like if you wanted to crank and see if you were getting engine oil, or if anything was going on while you were like under a cranking condition, maybe you don't even have a crank signal and it's losing it and erroring out or whatever, you wouldn't know because you can't see RPM because your stupid screen shuts off. So I got this connector, and then we've got wire, and then I'm gonna redo my power on my computer properly. So don't be a knucklehead like me, follow the directions, don't think you're smarter than Holley and cut your stuff all up like some idiot. And then if you do need I/O and you need connectors, you're like, hey, I'm just gonna get a whole new connector and we will pin it with our new little terminal guys, and there you go. So they do carry all this stuff. Again, it's all in the little packages. They got you covered, and they carry a full line of wiring stuff. They make full-on custom harnesses and all that. But say you want to get froggy and do it yourself, they'll just sell you all this stuff so you can be a hero and make your own mess of wiring like I kind of do sometimes. So moving on, the main reason, that was one reason, because I'm like, I found that and we need to change that and we got some wiring to do here. The main reason was transmission stuff. So I'm in the middle of building another transmission, a 4L80E. The one that my buddy Ryan has put together needs to be tested. I am impatient, and I was like, I need something ASAP, and he can't test my transmission, so I pulled the core apart, and I figured this would be a good transmission for my wife's car at some point, but I could use it because she doesn't need it right now, right? That's what I'm telling myself. So if you buy it for the wife, then you can spend the extra money on it. No harm, no foul. But I needed some additional parts I didn't have, so War Performance has a lot of 4L80E stuff. So this is a wire harness. If you're going to rebuild one, you're going to need a new wire harness. Speaking of wire harness, I'm going to share this one with you. This is a Sonex kit that goes in the transmission that actually backstops this plug. So this plug just has these little plastic teeth, and if you're being a He-Man or you don't get it right, you could potentially push this in, because this is all sealed up. It's supposed to be nice and tight. You could push this into the pan. So imagine having everything done, maybe you have some fluid in there, maybe you don't, whatever you're doing, or maybe you worked on something, you unplugged it for whatever reason, and then you push this into the pan. That is a bad day because you're dropping the pan, fluid, all that stuff. So this is a cheap fix. And we'll go down the Sonex rabbit hole because they sent me a bunch more Sonex goodies for those of you guys that may want to do some stuff, right? So these are little check balls from Sonex. They carry a full line of stuff. Adjustable rear pin servo. So for this is your, I'm sorry, the pin kit that's adjustable for the rear servo. So in a trans brake application, you have to set this properly for engagement and disengagement of your trans brake. A lot of people complain about the way that these drag and they don't work and your trans brake sucks or whatever. Well, there's a bit more involved, and this is one of those things that you need to do to make it function properly. So you want to get one of those. Shim kit, front and rear play. We're gonna shim a lot of stuff because we got one of these. So this is a Sonex forward hub, right? And then this one's rollarized. We got the little bearing guy in here. So this is going to go in the transmission, and then you have to set all your end plays and everything else, and especially anytime you're using aftermarket, changing things out. Sonex is a great brand. Everything is usually pretty spot on, but it's your job as a transmission builder, right? Like me, amateur hour over here, to make sure everything's correct. Because if it's not, the transmission, it will eat itself. So these are some heavy duty spring retainers. These are important. These are all the bearings. So the transmission has bearings. If you pull them out and you roll them around and they feel nice and smooth, you can get away with putting them back in depending on budget. But to have one of these fail and go through the transmission would be terrible, especially for the cost. So cheap insurance, peace of mind. And then now that these are in here, if I do mess with this thing at all, ever, hopefully future-wise, unless something comes apart in it, I'll just clean them up and put them right back in because we've already done it. So next on the list, we've got a zip valve plug filter. So it's a little O-ring with a billet plug. This one is pretty important. We're moving on to GM parts. This is a sprag. Want to do the sprag. And then all the spacers. This is probably way more spacers than I need. But yeah, so these are different thicknesses of spacers. So when you set the transmission up, you're going to need, I mean, you shouldn't need a ton of them, but it's always nice to have a variance of spacers so that way you can actually get the right one. So, and then seals, lip seals, all that fun stuff. This actually goes on a drum. And the other reason I reached out to him, I won't share with you guys or show it because it's not warranted, is a used forward drum. So that's what got me into this pickle. I've been rebuilding this transmission slowly after hours, after I finish up working, and then I tried to just do one thing and the next thing. And I found that the forward drum, because I didn't inspect it well enough when I first disassembled stuff, now we're trying to assemble it, and my forward drum was toast. So they had a good used unit. So today I'm going to clean it all up. I've got some goodies so we can keep moving forward with this thing. But I wanted to share this and showcase all this stuff because I don't know if you guys know or not, that they carry a full line of wiring stuff, and then they have transmission stuff, and then all your LS goodies, they carry a ton of that stuff too. And then the one thing that is really cool about a lot of the products that you see on the website that they stock, the reason some of that stuff is on there is because they bought it and they put it on their cars and they used it, and then they decided that they would sell it because it works. So that's the other thing that's kind of cool too. Yeah, you can buy from Summit or wherever or read reviews. Well, you can ask those guys because they put the stuff to the test through drag and drive stuff. And then again, even the stuff that I have on my car, you guys are welcome to ask me how I feel about stuff or why I use particular things that I have on the vehicle. So that is that. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know. Hopefully somebody gets some IO pins that they need because those things for what they are stupid and they're expensive for nothing. So hopefully that goes to a good home. I appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, let's get back to building. I gotta make some more videos. I'm out.